break from our usual way of doing things, but you to address us, and please just go right ahead.
Oh, well, thank you for hearing me today. As we all know, the courthouse was broken into on Friday morning early, and our office was targeted. We were broken into. There was a fire set on one of the deputy clerk's desks. They attempted to get into the vault. They proceeded from our office to judges' chambers into Superior Court, and then on up into juvenile services. I wanted to go on record today so that people understand that you can't break into the clerk's office and damage the court record. The court record is safe. The paper copy is a convenience that we retain for the judge's use and for the parties. But there's a separate digital record. It's backed up daily. The IT department provides an off-site backup that they're confident is safe. So my concern was not that the record was in any danger, but more that the privacy interests of the people who have business in court can't be protected if you can break into my office. So that's a big issue. Also, of course, the safety of the people who work here. When somebody breaks in, I think we have to assume some kind of malevolent intent, and I'd like to see us develop a protocol for how we respond after such an event. I'd like to ask one of you to represent the Commission on the safety meetings that happen monthly. I've been attending those meetings since 2005, and I think it would send a good message and also be good practice for you to talk amongst yourself and see who's willing to come to those meetings where we discuss things such as this, and maybe give it a higher profile in your considerations. I'm going to be buying a security camera for my office, so should this happen again, the next person will not be able to walk around unknown with impunity. We'll know who it was. And I found that security systems are a whole lot cheaper than they used to be, and they do a whole lot more than they used to do. So I would encourage you to consider this not in a sense of what we can't do, because we have an antique courthouse with 40 windows on the ground floor and 6 doorways. But what we can do, and do what we can, and set some priorities and make something happen so that the public and the staff see that we're not in that kind of gridlock that we get into where we say, oh, well, that'd be neat, but we can't do it. That'd be neat, but we can't do it. Let's figure out what we can do. It might be modest, but it needs to be meaningful. And I think, based on my weekend of browsing internet sites that anybody can see, that there's a lot of security options out there, and something will fit our budget, something will suffice. I was amazed by how sophisticated these options are at a pretty modest cost, really. And I think that pretty much says it. When you figured out what course you're going to take to address this issue, I'd like one of you to come up and talk with my staff, because we're really lucky. We're really fortunate that the person who broke in didn't have an intention to start a catastrophic fire. But the message is pretty clear that they can get to us if they want to. And I think it would be helpful and a sign of respect if one of you just came up and talked with us.
I would be glad to do that. I did that with public health when they had an issue a few years ago.
Thanks.
And that led to our policy regarding how staff's treated. Mm-hmm. And there was a threatening incident there. And that was very valuable for me as well as the staff, I think, to go. And so I'll make a commitment to doing that personally.
Thanks, David.
We've had a representative, but it was Julie for years on the safety committee, I think. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure we have.
Well, you have a representative now, yes. But I'd really like one of you to come,
right,
at least for a while.
And one of us can probably do that too.
Right.
I had thought about talking to Judge Landis this weekend about district court. And some of the others, she had a family issue, so had to go away. But I understand Lauren's going to be back tomorrow. Is that right? So I think we could get on this week.
That'd just be awesome. You know, Superior Court has discretion and jurisdiction over people's families. We take kids away from parents. We put people in jail. We can pretty much mess with them. And I'm pretty confident that one of them messed with us. The security that's provided for the clerk's office and the Superior Court, just the facilities, is minimal. And of course we are still co-located, which, as you know, is an issue for me. And so I would appreciate your attention to that. On another topic, the digital archives at Cheney provide a really wonderful resource for backing up business data for local governments such as ours. And I'm not entirely sure about this. I've talked with our vendor, Laserfiche, and I've talked with them, but I'm not a technician. I think if we would get an upgrade to Laserfiche, we would be able to do things that we can't do now. Instead of FTPing our daily work product to the Cheney archives, which would provide protection for catastrophic damage like earthquake, that kind of thing. It would also allow me to be able to have them sell our records online and do all of the e-commerce for us at no cost to us. It would greatly reduce the traffic in our counter over time if people got in the habit of just buying their documents online, which would be a snap. They could do it 24/7. So I'd like you to consider the possibility of looking at our imaging system, which is excellent, upgrading it a little bit, and having a closer working relationship with the digital archives. It would create more security for our records, and it would help us in our business practice to modernize it.
I always appreciate your efforts of customer service and service. I do too. I mean, I've done that before with your research, going out there and looking at what can be done. So.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for listening to me.
Yeah,
do you have any questions?
You know, we've got a very busy day today, but is there a good time tomorrow to meet with your staff?
You know, I'm going to be leaving today to go to Waco all week. I'm sure that you could talk with Lori about a time. We've got a trial going. It'll probably last 2 days. Maybe Wednesday would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll coordinate.
Thanks a lot.
Commissioner Sullivan? I just want to say that Jefferson County already is a pilot county with Cheney.
Right.
And you might check with Brenda because we're already doing that.
I know you are.
Right.
Our office isn't.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's great that you're doing it.
Right. You might want to see how we went about that because we are that. And one thing that I just might want to say, you're talking about installing a camera in your office. I think we have a policy in place that you need to go through facilities.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right. Well, it's because there is, this issue has come up, not necessarily with that, but the policy is anything to do with that, you do need to go through facilities.
That would just be so great if you would come to the safety meetings.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
And while we're on the subject of the safety meetings, I'll volunteer to go to that.
Thank you.
All right. Sounds good.
Other people get to comment too, or not, or just?
Mike, you're out of order.
Is that?
Mike, you're out of order.
I'll take off then if we're done. And thanks for all your hard work. And I appreciate your attention to this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
David, you probably want to point out that we had staff members speaking to us now.
Okay,
not members
elected
of the public.
officials.
Yeah.
And then I always give deference to the other elected officials to address the board. So we need to get back on our schedule here.